Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So it finally happened. Damian Lillard finally got traded. And the trade supposedly is the Portland Trailblazers are trading guard Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks in a 3-team deal that includes the Phoenix Suns. Now, apparently, Portland will receive Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Tomani Kamara. I don't even know who the hell that is. I didn't even know he was a player in the league. Milwaukee's 2029 unprotected first-round draft pick and an unprotected Milwaukee swap rights in 2028 and 2030. So, also apparently, a part of this trade, the Phoenix Suns will also be getting Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, Yusuf Nurkic, Keon Johnson, and I think somebody else. I can't think of they'll be getting Yusuf Nurkic. The Suns will receive Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. So, honestly, this is probably the best trade that the Portland Trailblazers could have gotten for such a thing. For Damian Lillard, anyway. Reason being is because, well, Damian Lillard, he's getting paid an ass ton of money. Like, I'm just going to call it what it is. This kind of helps out every team involved, too. Like, I like how it's not really, like, super one-sided. Granted, Yusuf Nurkic is not the greatest center in the NBA, but he's still solid. And the Suns are getting some depth out of it. Nasir Little's a solid defender. Grayson Allen's a good 3-and-D guy. They got Keon Johnson, who's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, they definitely added some depth to their roster by doing this trade, which they really desperately needed. They really needed a point guard, which they didn't really get out of this, but I guess it's going to be what it's going to be. That's what Phoenix needs the most. But Portland getting Drew Holiday doesn't fit their timeline. It's already been reported by Adrian Wojnarowski that they're going to flip Drew Holiday for something else. Makes a lot of sense. Drew Holiday's 33. He's one of the best guards in the NBA as far as one of the best defensive guards in the NBA, if not the best. He's a guy that could be an immediate piece on a championship contending team or a team looking to contend. Honestly, Portland could probably get 1 or 2 first-round picks just for Drew Holiday and maybe a young player or a young player plus a first-round pick. It really depends on how desperate the other team is. As for Portland, though, I really like the DeAndre Ayton pickup, especially with what they're building over there in Portland. I like the way this works for them because Portland will now have Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson, and DeAndre Ayton. And that's a nice young core to build upon going into the future. They're trying to stack young assets. Obviously, trading Damian Lillard means they're rebuilding, so I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Simons goes someplace else too. But this was a solid return for Portland, considering they were not interested in whatever it was that Miami was offering them. Now, I understand Damian Lillard wanted to go to Miami, but the fact of the matter is, like, you get to play with fucking Giannis, okay? And odds are, like, Miami got worse over the offseason, if you ask me. Like, they didn't get Bam Adebayo. They didn't get Damian Lillard. Apparently, Tyler Herro's unhappy with management. You lost Gabe Vincent. You lost Max Strus. I mean, like, they're a team that got worse. They're not a team that really got much better. So, actually, they didn't get better at all, really. They just got worse. So, really, if you're Dame, you're going to play in Milwaukee. You're going to play with Giannis. You have Chris Middleton there. Brook Lopez. Like, their starting lineup is probably going to be Damian Lillard, Malik Beasley, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. And there's Bobby Portis is their fucking 6th man. So, it's just the idea. It's like they have a pretty solid starting 5. And like I said, if you're Portland, yeah, Drew Holiday's not what you wanted, but Drew Holiday's good enough where it's like, yeah, I can flip him for something else. And you know what? Honestly, Damian Lillard going to Milwaukee, I think, puts them as automatic championship favorites. Like, I know that I feel like we say this all the time with teams. Like, when Phoenix traded for Bradley Beal, oh, they're the championship favorites. I honestly don't think Phoenix is gonna win it all. Like they just have too many mouths to feed on that offense. Okay, like there's just too much going on. I feel like every time in history where we've seen this, where teams trade for like a whole bunch of star players, where they have 3, 4, 5 star players on their team that they have to feed to get to be good. It usually doesn't work out. Luckily, in this situation, Chris Middleton's going to be the third leg, and he was a 50, 40, 90 guy at one point. So the idea that Chris Middleton can just be a catch and shoot guy helps as well. And I was just thinking like it's kind of the perfect fit in a way. You know, you put Damian Lillard next to Giannis. It'll free up Giannis a lot more too. The cool thing about this is, for Milwaukee, for a long time it was like you just had to worry about Giannis. Like Giannis was the only guy you had to worry about. Now if you're Milwaukee or you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan, right? Like your teams don't only have to worry about him now. You know, like you still have Chris Middleton, but Chris Middleton wasn't always the greatest number 2. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, now we got to worry about Dame and Chris Middleton. And yeah, they did have to give up Grayson Allen, but it's just the idea. It's like, you know, you still have Pat Connaughton, or Pat Connaughton, if I said that correctly, who's still a good player. You still have Bobby Portis, who's still pretty good. Like the Bucks still have a solid roster. Yeah, losing Drew Holiday hurts. It hurts on the defensive side of the ball. But like really in the playoffs, like Drew Holiday wasn't the greatest player in the world. Like he could have played better, even more specifically, like as of more recently, like the most recent playoffs that passed. Drew Holiday could have been better, and I don't want to hear shit out of Giannis anymore that the Bucks aren't trying to compete for a championship, because they just traded Drew Holiday for fucking Damian Lillard. Okay, so Giannis's days of complaining about the front office should hopefully be behind us now at this point. But good trade for the Bucks. I will say that. Honestly, a good trade for all parties involved. You know, especially when you look at it from the Phoenix Suns standpoint of things, like, it was obvious they wanted to get off DeAndre Ayton. You know what I'm saying? Like, DeAndre Ayton's a guy that they clearly, like, DeAndre Ayton didn't want to be there. Yeah, Nick Nurse, being that he's the new head coach there, maybe wanted DeAndre Ayton around, but DeAndre Ayton didn't want to be there. And the front office really didn't want, it seemed like they didn't want him there either. So, you know, DeAndre Ayton wanted to go to another, something else, and he ended up going to Portland. And I honestly think it's going to be great for DeAndre Ayton, because now he gets to play with Scoot Henderson, he gets to play with Shaedon Sharpe, and he gets to be like kind of like the guy in a way. Like, obviously Scoot Henderson's going to be the guy, but for this upcoming year, like if you're drafting fantasy, I kind of think DeAndre Ayton's probably a guy you should pick up. But I just like the way this trade panned out for everybody involved. You know, Milwaukee got better, I think Phoenix got better, and Portland got what they wanted. You know, they wanted assets. They got a 2028 pick swap, a 2029, and a 2030. So they got a first round pick for, you know, from 2028 to 2030, and it's unprotected. So granted, I don't know how great those picks are, because by 2030, I don't know how good Giannis is still gonna be, but you know, it's just the idea. You know, at that point in time, the picks could be good. You know what I'm saying? You never know what could happen. Injuries, stuff like that happen all the time. So those picks are valuable. And I also think, like I said, with Drew Holiday, the Trailblazers are really going to try to flip Drew Holiday for picks. I think picks and a young player, or a pick and a young player. Now, who is going to be willing to offer them that? I don't know, but I do know this. Drew Holiday is still a damn good basketball player. Somebody's going to offer something for him to Portland, and you know, it's like, in a way, like this kind of made every team involved. I don't want to say it didn't make Portland better. Like, obviously, whenever you get rid of like the best point guard in the NBA, you know, like at the current point in time, or statistically the best point guard in the NBA at the current point in time, your team probably gets a little worse. But as far as their win-loss record, like if you look at their starting lineup, even if they kept Drew Holiday, like their starting lineup is Drew Holiday, Anthony Simons, who else? Shaedon Sharpe, Jeremy Grant, and DeAndre Ayton. Like that's not the worst starting five in the world. You know, it's not a world beater by any means. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to go out here and run teams out the fucking gym, but it's still like, even if they didn't trade Drew Holiday, it's still a solid starting five. So I don't know, man. We will obviously have to wait and see how all of this pans out, but I think this was the best trade that could have happened. I think this was the best trade offer that Portland was going to get to. And on top of it, when you look at it from Portland's perspective, you got DeAndre Ayton, you got a young player, you got 3 first-round picks unprotected and a technically 3 first-round picks, a pick swap in 2028, but technically 3 first-round picks, and you still end up getting Drew Holiday out of it, who you can flip for other shit. So, and also, like, I kind of like this because the pick and roll game between DeAndre Ayton and Scoot Henderson is going to be fucking maniacal, I think. And this allows Shaedon Sharpe to play off ball and do what he's going to do. Like, I like it. I like it a lot for all parties involved. So, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like, helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.